So, good evening. I'm Tony Dattino, the founder of the USA Memory Championship, and excited to share with you a bit about our event this past Saturday. It was our first virtual memory event. It went extremely well. The day was chock full of some really great speakers from Penn State to Columbia University to McGovern Brain Institute to researchers at MIT. I mean, it was just it's an executive from Lumosity. We had over 100 competitors. We did have some blips. First time of doing anything, I've learned one thing. You did have some blips and some bumps. But we had a really terrific event. The feedback we've gotten from viewers that watched it just found it to be absolutely fascinating. And anybody that wants to see it can go to USA Memory Championship Facebook and you can find the event. Though I would tell you the event was 4.5 hours from beginning to end. And we're looking now at taking spots of it and obviously editing so that if you want to hear a speaker on memory and the impact of different memory skills on the human brain, you can go and look at that. You want to see how the final events played out and who was in that event in the competition, you can go in and zero on that for 10 to 15 minutes. Of course, as always, our favorite event is the Tea Party, 3 Strikes You're Out, and it just kept everybody spellbound as we had 5 people that entered the finals that were going through what we call Tea Party, 3 Strikes You're Out. And we had a 18-year-old nutritional marine student. She's studying nutrition and marine life at Virginia University in Wesleyan, Virginia, University in Virginia. And just an amazing young woman, 18 years old, and won the competition. Her story was fascinating to me as I learned more about her. The event was exciting because she was in the final 5. So who were the final 5? You had McKenna Good. I want to get this name right. It was Audrey Versack. Nelson Dellis, 4-time USA champion. You had John Graham, who was our 20th anniversary USA Memory champion. And you had William Meyerson, who was a Lumosity finalist that came through the gate, did well in his Lumosity games, and did well in our Words to Remember, and became the 5th finalist for the Tea Party event. And we had our Tea Party guests. Now, this was a really interesting event because what McKenna had to be able to do is listen to 3 people give 30 bits of data about themselves, including their phone number and their college and anniversary of someone they married, a car, foods. And we had each person, so we had 3 Tea Party guests, and they each ran through a 90-minute video. So we had videos of these Tea Party guests so that we could really tighten it up and be in control of it. And so we played that 1, 2, and 3. Then what we did is we went backwards, 3, 2, and 1, and a little bit less time in 90 seconds. And then we played it one more time, first, second, third. And they were allowed during this period of time to take notes. So their note-taking skills are going to really come into play. And then we gave them 2 minutes when that was done for them to look at their notes and capture them and then turn those notes away and let's play. So we met our first Tea Party guest, and the mental athletes got through all of the data bits that we had for the first Tea Party guest, which was fantastic. Now, we did have some strikes, so we were doing what we call 3 Strikes You're Out, so we were tracking the strikes of who was missing data bits. And then we get into the second Tea Party guest, and we went all the way down to the very, very end between the finalists that were there. And the net of it was Audrey and McKenna were head-to-head in that final event. So our 4-time champion and our 20th anniversary champion and our Lumosity person left it to a 16-year-old, was Audrey, and an 18-year-old, which was McKenna. And McKenna won it all the way down through the second Tea Party guest and the first name of the third Tea Party guest. So it was a really exciting event. And congratulations to McKenna Good, a Marine student learning all about marine and nutrition and marines and environments at Virginia Wesleyan. Now, here's what was interesting about it, because these are the things that make this event so exciting and so interesting. One of the reasons that McKenna would like to continue to practice on her memory skills, especially remembering names and faces of people and information about them, is because she's a big proponent of building relationships. And she finds that one of the best ways for her to strengthen and have confidence in relationships is remembering information about people, so that when you meet them, you're able to have a dialogue about things they've shared with you in the past about their family or their hobbies or maybe a sports team. And so she found that event to be totally in line with skills that she wants to build as she goes through her college years, and believes very strongly about the importance of relationships. And to me, what was exciting about that from McKenna is that she understood that before we've had dozens of science articles over the pandemic talk about social isolation and loneliness and its impact to our health. And so here's an 18-year-old college student that's way ahead of that curve. What was equally interesting about that is her story. We ask about, well, how did you get to go into memory, and what did you find in terms of what made you want to compete in the event? And I have a couple of notes here I just want to glance at. Beyond meeting people and building relationships, she was studying, now this is a good one, the nutrition of flaming hot Cheetos. Okay, so she wants to study the nutrition, or she's studying on Google, flaming hot Cheetos. Now, I'm not sure if I know what a flaming hot Cheeto is. I know what Cheetos are, but flaming hot. And her dad challenged her to go learn something more about memory and put those skills to some use in her life. So congratulations to her dad. So Mr. Good, congratulations for getting McKenna to then go look for a website and learn more about memory and learn about is there a competition. And lo and behold, she finds the USA Memory Championship website. And so she dives into our website and learns that we have a competition and we do this annually. And we've done 21. Now this is our first virtual. And so she signed up to compete on a virtual memory event. And I'm sure Dad is totally proud of what she was able to accomplish. I'm not sure if Dad was in her audience as she participated, but she beat a 4-time champion. She beat our 20th anniversary champion. She beat a 60-year-old Audrey Versac, another bright young woman, and what we've asked both of them to do is stay with us, because one of the things in our event is how do we get more females, especially when they get older, to compete in this. And yet it's females that worry so much about Alzheimer's, dementia, and different losing of their memory. So we've got an event that is just thrilling. It was really exciting to watch them go at this, going through words to remember and then moving into the 5 finalists. And then the notes were coming back from people on our Facebook notes on how exciting and interesting and what a practical series of skills that they were demonstrating as part of our first annual virtual memory competition. So overall, it was when it was all done, the whole day, we started at 1 o'clock and finished at 5:30. And I want to take snippets of it and put it into different topics so people can watch it in 10 to 15-minute chunks, because the lessons in it from the academic world were just amazing. I thought Bob Schaefer from Lumosity did a fabulous talk in terms of the skills and Lumosity games and how they fit and how they've helped people. We had comments coming back from people wanting to know more about where they could learn how to improve their memories. And so we have our Maximum Memory Mastery online course, which people that have been taking it are really finding it to be beneficial in how to improve their memories and how to improve their brain health. So their brain health overall, how to improve how memories work. So then we're now teaching people how memories work. And what I've said all along is memory is a verb, it is not a noun. And what I mean by that is memory is a skill and an actionable item that anybody can do and improve at any age, given the desire to want to do so, or maybe it's the urgency of wanting to do so, the willingness to learn a system or methods, and then the practicing of those and the uses of them. So that was it. We had Jim Carroll, who Robert Ajemian from MIT calls the world's longest long-term memory expert, meaning how Jim is able to absorb information and share it with people on a long-term level. Columbia University, Penn State, as I said. This was a 4.5-hour segment as we break it into pieces, was absolutely fantastic. And then I was thrilled to have edited a book called Accelerate, and it fit in with 2 1-minute spots on why kids learning to build for success need to learn how to improve their learning skills, but then in what a program and a workbook is, and a book written by 2 people that really want to help kids at any age learn how to become the best that they can be. And those 2 1-minute spots were equally fantastic to get to see what this workbook called Accelerate can really do in the lives of kids. And that brought us to Colette Silvestri, who's been a teacher with kids, and she shared with a number of her students that have learned these skills, have gone off to medical schools and professions in their lives that they never thought possible. So this is what was all contained in the 4.5 hours. So stay tuned for Live with Tony. We're going to start breaking those pieces up so that my audience and yourself, anyone that you want to pass this with, can grab little snippets of 4.5 hours in maybe 10 or 15-minute chunks and really listen to it and say, wow, these people are onto something really significant in what they're doing. So with that, have a good evening. This is my Monday evening broadcast. And I'm now looking at, based on we've got several people interested now in doing like events for their organization. So now it's like, okay, how do we do that and what do we do? So I may be, I'm just trying to think of when. I'm thinking of cutting my broadcast down from 5 days to either 3 or 4. So I may be cutting back on my Live with Tony broadcast and doing maybe 3 a week and letting that work for me for now. But for now, this is, before Thanksgiving, we'll keep it going. And maybe you've got something that people can watch while we're sitting down having some turkey with whomever on virtual Zooming at home. Have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.